So we've got a chicken that runs at 4 miles per hour and we have a dog that runs at 8 miles per hour. If on the assessment or on the test, I wanted to ask you what was the ratio of the speed of the chicken to the dog, then what would you tell me? Take a minute, think about it. What would you tell me? You can pause right here if you need to. Now, what we need to know from RP1, if you haven't heard me before, order matters. So if I say chicken to dog, that is different from dog to chicken. And if you've watched the previous videos, then you know that there's no commutative property with division, so that's why these two are not the same. So it's very important on the test, if I ask you chicken to dog, you need to write your ratio from chicken to dog, and not from dog to chicken. They're completely different. So if I'm asking about the ratio from the chicken to the dog, and then I have 4 to 8. So most students would say this is it. This is it, Mr. Golden. It's just 4 to 8. But remember, we want to simplify this so that we can use ratio language. Remember that we can write ratios in 3 different ways. We can write the ratios 4 to 8, 4 to 8, or 4 over 8. This is extremely important. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, push, push, shove off cliff, okay? This is very important. So I have this 4 to 8. Now I have to ask myself, based on our unit 1, based on what we learned in the last unit, we know that we should be able to simplify fractions based on the greatest common factor. So what is the largest number that goes into both 4 and 8? I'll give you a minute. Well, not a full minute, just a few seconds. So the largest number that goes into both 4 and 8 is 4. So let's divide both of these by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So what that means is that for every 1 miles per hour, every 1 mile per hour that the chicken runs, the dog runs 2 miles per hour. Okay? So the next question I'm going to ask is going to be very, very important. So make sure you listen to this. This is probably the most important part of this video. If I asked you to rate the speed of the chicken as it compares to the dog, and then if I asked you if the ratio, or to compare the speed of the dog to the chicken, is 2 completely different things, just like we talked about over here. Okay? So the speed of the chicken compared to the dog, the chicken runs half as fast as the dog. Okay? Because the chicken runs slower than the dog. So the chicken runs half as fast as the dog. And if we notice, excuse me, if you notice, this half is the same as this half we wrote here. That compares the chicken speed to the dog speed. So the chicken runs half as fast as the dog. What if we compared it from the dog to the chicken? Well, if we compared it from the dog to the chicken, we'd have a completely different fraction. We would have 2 over 1, because this is the dog. Oops, I spelled dog correctly. Dog to the chicken. So that means that the dog runs 2 times as fast as the chicken. Very, very important. If you need to rewind, pause, review, please do so. And that's it for part 1.